New World is dead, and here's the full list why. Let's go over not the pre-release stuff, but launch week stuff. There were extreme queues. There was 900,000 concurrent players on launch day. And servers, as far as I knew, I don't know the exact numbers, but I think like some people were saying servers could handle like 2,000 players tops. There wasn't nearly enough servers for how many people were going to play. The queue times were hours to days long, especially if you were going to play on Asmongold's server. Oh boy, what a queue that server had. But besides all the extreme queues, they took way too long to add more servers. Like people were just refunding like crazy, right? Now there was immediate invincibility glitches. Now there was more than just the window dragging glitch, okay? This is where you took the game window and you moved it around your desktop, and it made you invincible for some reason because your health was your health was client side. How stupid is that? An MMORPG where your health is client side. Can you believe it? There was also a way to disconnect a certain way to make yourself basically invincible, which a lot of tanks abused in dungeons and people in PvP. And yeah, you could just go farm everything because you couldn't die. It was so funny. If you died too far from your campfire, it would kick you off the server and you had to re-queue up, which basically turned the game into, oops, you don't get to play the rest of the day. So you had to be very careful not to die. All right. There was an infinite loot container exploit. This is where you could re-loot a container over and over and over and over and over. And if you loot the really valuable containers, especially like the group area containers and dungeon containers, oh man, were you like just loaded. It wasn't a dupe. It was just infinite loot from that chest, okay? And oh boy, my character's like spazzing out here in the game. So the AFK kick was incredibly aggressive. If you had to step away for like 15 minutes or more, you got kicked offline. I think it was even shorter than 15 minutes. It might have been 5 minutes. I forget. But if you went to go take a dump, you were kicked off, all right? So there was the achievement reclaim loop where every time you like did a thing, achievements would pop up on your screen. You had to reclaim them all to even use them. Every single time you logged in or like changed zones and stuff. It was so stupid. There was another abandoned activity UI glitch where it blocked your screen and you couldn't get it off your screen except unless you closed and reopened the game, which means you didn't get to play the rest of the day because you were stuck in queue if you did that. And that's when the review bombing began. All right. And then we move on to how they started hotfixing some of this stuff, but they were in such a rush that they just broke more of the game and introduced even more bugs. And that's where duping comes in. Duping was done through a trade window and disconnecting. So if you traded someone's stuff and then they disconnected and you disconnected, it's as if the trade never happened for you, but the other player got the items. So you could literally just trade back and forth the most valuable crap, and then, you know, once those stacks get real big, you could dupe even faster and even faster and even faster, and the economy goes goodbye. Also, during this time, you could family share your account and play multiple Steam accounts for free, as long as one of those accounts owned New World. And what the devs in their amazing, train of thought was, oh, everyone that family shared their account, we're going to give them a free game. So they disabled family sharing, but everyone that did family share got the game for free. So yeah, sitting on 10 accounts full of duped goods. Whoops. Thanks, devs, I guess. Whatever. Game's dying anyway. Who cares, right? There was the server time skip crash, which was tied to duping. And the way to do it was you would crash the entire server through duping a certain item that technically shouldn't have existed in the game, but through HTML injection, you could have Game Master powers. And yeah, people had Game Master powers to crash servers with. And when they crashed the server, for whatever reason, by duping this item, because the plan was to dupe the item and give it away to other people, so everyone had like Game Master shit that they just had in their stash that they could one day collect. I don't know why having Game Master items crashed the server, but it did. Anyway, this caused the server to massively, like 2 to 3 months or something, or 9 months. It really depended on how the dupe went, but essentially, it would, when the server came back online, so much time had passed that all the settlements had like decayed back down to like tier 1, ruining servers, by the way. And the funny thing is, it was the devs say it was impossible to roll back. And the truth is it wasn't, because when people started getting laid off and fired, they admitted that, you know, the higher-ups told them they were not allowed to roll them back. Even though they could do it, and they were not going to do it. It was going to be part of the lore. And a lot of these higher-ups in Amazon don't even play video games. They have nothing to do with video games. So it's just the programmers following the higher-ups' orders. And you hate to see it. You hate for that to be a thing, but that's how it is, all right? Then there was the AoE Magic War exploit, where if you spammed the Frost Glove AoE, you would lag out the fight during a war. And here's the thing, a big war, like, why isn't this play tested? Everyone's going to use AoE in a war. Anyway, you could lag out the server and then cap all the flags and points and stuff. Man, there was the faction token bug where you couldn't increase it properly. That was stupid. There was another patch that fixed several invulnerability cases, but there were still some that weren't fixed. They also disabled Outpost Rush for a long time. Does anyone remember that? And then, you know, the chat HTML injection got leaked, and everyone started using it to, like, post images, naughty images, by the way. They would link things that crashed your client if you're nearby, like in Say Chat. They'd flood the screen. Also, again, you could also inject and use this to dupe gold and items. There was the offline trading bug. This was a fun one. If you sold items while you were offline, you didn't get paid for them. How stupid. How dumb, right? Then there was another duping wave. This one involved duping through storage and crafting stations. That was fun. There was the people lost their houses during maintenance. I didn't lose mine for some reason. I don't know why. I got lucky, I guess. But a lot of people lost their... I know why I didn't lose mine. Mine was the most decorated, so it got showed to the public. But a lot of people lost their houses, and they promised reimbursement, and they never gave reimbursement. Now, they reimbursed a few people that managed to, like, contact the devs directly, like, on forums or Discord, but other than that, you didn't get nothing. There was the speed glitches involving the hatchet, the speed attack speed glitch involving the bow. You could also turn your like magic staff into a machine gun and shoot really, really fast. Just your auto attack, right? There were perk bugs with perks, bugs with attributes. There was some attributes that if you leveled them up too much, it actually was worse than not leveling them up for some reason. Nice calculations, game. Oh man, there was bot plagues. Now, bots had plagued the game since launch, but bots got real bad around this time. And a lot of people, they started finally banning bots, but they also started falsely banning people, because anyone who talked about banning bots in the chat, the bot owners would mass report them, and they would get banned. This happened to me a few times. And I didn't bot, I swear. Coin seller spam, you might be seeing sometimes in the bottom left corner of the chat window, some dickhead, shilling their gold selling website. Chat, like at one point, chat got flooded so bad on every server, no one could even talk anymore in the damn chats. Right? Because they all had family. Oh, there's one right now. Look. Oh man, it's still there. Oh man. But yeah, all the family shared accounts, they would just log into another. What they would do is they make a character chat spam, and then they would delete the character so there's no log of it ever, breaching terms of service, so they didn't get banned. Eventually, there was a, I forget when they added this, but there was you had to be a certain level to chat. You had to be like level 10 or something before you could even talk to people, and that was like stupid. There was another fun thing. This happened to a few guilds where you would steal everything in the guild, all the money from the guild, right? And then you just transfer servers, and they never reimbursed anyone that this happened to. They were like, oh, tough shit, sorry. Sorry that happened, bro. And it's like, really? At this point, the player count drawn from 900,000. All of these culminated, by the way. All these YouTubers too, Josh Strife Hayes and a bunch of other people were just constantly dogging the game, dragging it through the mud, me included, by the way. It was a team effort to freaking kill this game off. And oh boy, right now, there are content creators who are like, oh no, New World was such a good game, I can't believe it's dying, oh, I'm gonna miss it. This is the same thing, and this is said by Rose MMO. He said, this is the same thing as, I'm not quoting directly here, but he said, this is the same thing as a jackass who dies, and everyone pretends that now that he's dead that they care, and that all the, actually liked him and stuff. Bullshit. This game sucks. This game has always sucked. This game is dog doo-doo, bro. This game deserves to die. No one that has a soul is shocked that it's dying. All these content creators are like, oh, woe is me, oh, New World, oh, blah, 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 blah. These guys are shills. They take bags. They take sponsorships. These twerps work with AGS. I'm an official AGS content creator, by the way, and I'm not shilling nothing. I'm telling you the damn truth, okay? This game blew freaking ass. Give me a sec. Normally, I would edit out the breaks in, my voice, but I'm not going to edit this video. It's New World, who cares? It's freaking New World, bros. Anyway, what am I getting at? I'm getting at that all these shills that are like, oh, woe is me, New World, I'm going to miss it. Bro, they just work for AGS. They're just talent agency twerps who have their freedom of speech stifled in exchange for a fat paycheck every month. So don't listen to them. Listen to people with a real soul like me, who knows that this game is dog water, okay? Why are dogs connotated with, like, bad things? Like, oh, dog shit, dog poop, yeah, dog water. I don't know, but anyway. There was another duping wave, by the way. I don't know how this dupe worked. It was around Thanksgiving. I was not around for it. I mean, I was kind of playing, but, like, I stopped talking to people. I wasn't in any guilds. I was kind of doing my own thing, filming videos and whatnot. So yeah, that dupe wave was wild. Let's see, what else was there? There was a bunch of other things that I could harp on too. Let me find it. I have a list. I'm actually reading off of a list here. I know, I don't normally read off a list. It's hard to, like, I've kept a little journal of all the failures, okay? Alright, where are we at? We're on the third wave dupe. Okay, lag, damage, bugs, and wars. There was still lag and wars. There was a damage bug where you could stack infinite damage and you could hit for 65535 with a blunderbuss. Not a blunderbuss, but the musket. Yeah, the musket, my bad. Blunderbuss didn't exist yet. Oh, man. Basically, it broke territory control. There was another way to glitch it where you would auto-win wars. I don't know how that worked because I wasn't doing them anymore. There was also a massive content drought, repetitive questing. There was no in-game variety, nothing to do. People were quitting left and right because of that one. They dropped the Season 4 roadmap. They promised content and then it vanished, so everyone stopped trusting AGS, which you should have, like, on week 1 of the damn game. There were quest blocks where the interactions got despawned or they didn't work. There was some sort of butterfly visual epilepsy bug with giant flapping screens and expeditions and stuff. There was also the roadmap in June 2024 got shrunk down to, like, a summer event, and it was basically a bait and switch. You get, oh yeah, we're gonna do this. Nah, sorry, haha, right? And then there was more quest blocks. There was an NPC that was missing that was required for a quest. More crashes, HDR hangs. Did I mention that this game melted GPUs? I think I forgot that one. Yeah. This game bricked the RTX 3090 GPU, and oh man, how stupid. Oh man, jeez. There's still queues. We're talking 2024. It's 2024. There's still queues. Servers at overcapacity because no one wants to play on dead servers or low pop servers. So everyone migrated to, like, the 2, 3, 4, depending on which area you played in, servers. There was 5 weeks of exploits with weapons that went unpatched, right? There was so many different exploits. There was crashes in the new events. Event rewards and progression got blocked. There was one thing. Now, back in early November of launch, the guild I was in, what we did was once we conquered a server and everyone left, we actually server transferred to another server, and that server was 1 month newer than when the game launched. So it wasn't quite a fresh start, but it was a fresher start. And when we transferred to that server, everyone was under-geared and under-leveled, so we just rolled the entire map and took over everything. Now, this happened again in early 2025, actually. They let free transfers happen, and entire guilds went to fresh start servers and just dominated everything, right? Imagine you pick a fresh start server, and you're like, oh, I'm having fun leveling and making friends, and then suddenly entire armies of people come in, take over all the territories, and max out your tax. It happened multiple times, okay? There was perk and crafting bugs. It broke charms and stuff. Oh, geez. There was more gameplay fixes and ongoing issues after that. They tried to change the map a bunch and improve it, but it just made it worse. Like, everyone agrees the maps got worse. Yeah, there was like more quests and more enemies and stuff, but it just cluttered the map. It made it look ugly, right? Then they broke gyms. The economy got screwed up, and old perks got left on gear. Like what? Now, another thing about economy screwing is on one, like what when servers got low pop, the richest person can completely destroy the servers. Okay, and I did that. I did that on like 3 servers. I would buy out the entire server, all the rare stuff on the markets, and relist it for 3 times as much. And so people just couldn't jewel craft anymore. They couldn't do a lot of crafting unless they, paid me, of course, or if they went to manually farm it. So good luck doing that, man. Especially after all the dupes got, semi-fixed and stuff. So yeah, whoopsie. Oh, man. They also changed it where mobs dropped level 730 gear. Okay, you have item level 730 gear dropping by mobs? Like, excuse me? This ruined the crafting economy, by the way. There was portals and levers in the catacombs that you just could not use sometimes for some reason, randomly. So you couldn't finish or even leave, really. They disabled the blunderbuss at some point. The main story quest progress got halted, and stories got, the entire storyline got blocked at one point. Massive amounts of queues and disconnect problems. There was server maintenance issues with instability whenever they released new content. This was like every time they released new content, there was always server issues. It didn't matter what it was. Even if they just copy-pasted an old file for a holiday event. And then, of course, October 28th, they announced content is no longer being made for the game. They're laying off employees. And in the past, they said they would give a 6-month in advance warning if they are going to shut the game down. That's our 6-month warning. So expect June, July, August, the game will be full dead. You can't play it anymore. That's just how it is. That's New World, everybody. It sucks. It's pretty bad. And don't play this slop. Get a refund if you can. This game was gifted to me by some guy that was like a lawyer. He talked to me once and then he ghosted me. So if you're still watching my channel, bro, I have toggled it where you can get a refund. And I think I've told you this before. Because I gave you all my gear before I quit, before I got banned. Yes, I'm actually banned on New World. I'm banned. You want to know what got me banned on the game? It wasn't the dupes. It wasn't the speed glitches. It wasn't anything. It was what I said. And here's what I said to get banned on New World. And yes, you're watching old footage. What I said was, if police arresting... I forget exactly. It was like, if the majority of police are incarcerating a certain, demographic of people, if that makes them racist... then does that mean incarcerating the majority of men make them sexist? So I want you to think about that sentence for a second. Basically, it was a troll post, right? It's a little troll post. A little political troll. So, back in that era of time, it was very politically heated, and people were getting mad that cops were arresting a majority of a certain demographic of people. And so I basically said, well, the most people that get arrested are guys, so I guess that makes cops sexist? Do you agree or disagree? It was one of those... I'm going to post a question to the chat, and they're all going to get mad. And apparently that was bannable? I don't know. I never got a response from support. They just close my tickets and then say there's no, coming back. I'm like, okay, see ya, whatever. Oh, and then I released a bunch of videos of me speed glitching and stuff and showing off, other things. The game absolutely deserves its death. It sucked. The game was unfun. I mean, look at my screen. I have 6 abilities in an MMORPG in 2020. I could play an MMORPG from the early 2000s and have 20 to 40 different abilities. And there would be 9 different classes with 20 to 40 different abilities. I'm allowed to play 6 spells. 6 spells and an auto attack and a heavy attack. And a potion and a food. That's it. That's it, bro. I'm doing some mob grinding on the screen here. And, we have 6 abilities. It was boring. It's boring, okay? The PvP in this game was not good. People were aimbotting in the PvP arenas. The game was slop. The game was crap. The game was just, yeah, on launch day it was fun because there was a bunch of people to interact with. One of my fondest memories is XQC ran by me on a server, and his fan base was running behind him spamming the voice chat. It was the funniest thing ever, right? Just random things, like Asmongold ran up, and like I was killing a gator, and he ran up to me, and he was like, hey, are you gonna skin that? And he didn't have voice chat on, so he couldn't hear me, and I'm like, I can't skin it because I'm not high enough level skinning. And so I just jumped around and spun a bunch and then ran off, and he got the idea, and then he skinned the alligator, whatever. There's just a bunch of little random things. All of the fond memories that people have of this game is not of the story. It is not of the monsters or the boss fights or the dungeons. It is the interactions with other people. And, that's why I think MMOs are great. But all these little simp, content creators, oh, New World was so good. No, it wasn't. New World sucked. We could have met in any other game and had these interactions in any other game, and they'd be just as damn good. All right? The only thing that New World was really set apart was the proximity voice chat, and that rarely worked, okay? But there was so many different ways to troll and grief people in this game, and that's what I will honestly miss. I just love the trolling and griefing, but if a video game gives you lots of options to troll and grief, it's usually because the QA testing and the developers didn't give a shit about the player experience. But that's my take. I hope you enjoyed this New World is Dead, and here's the full list why video. I'm the only guy that's going to tell you the actual truth about this slop-ass game. This game sucks. It deserves to die. Get your damn refund, okay? You can get a refund, even if you have 1,000 hours and, whatever. Okay, you can get a refund for this game. Steam will refund it. Just keep trying, keep trying. I even got a refund for PAX Day the other day. PAX Day, another scam game, right? That's $108 back in my Steam wallet, baby. And I had 224 hours on that shitty-ass game. But anyway, guys, what I want you to do now is let me know what is your favorite New World memory. Does this game deserve to die? I think it absolutely deserves to die. I don't care about the devs and them having to find a new job. You know what? What game dev gives a crap about me getting fired from retail because I followed a shoplifter? None of them will care. They'll just be like, oh, that sucks. Sorry that happened. Oh, go find another job. You know what, game devs? You made 6 figures. Like, I've seen, like, these tech job things. They have, like, eucalyptus towels and chai pudding and their own special cafeterias and quiet rooms. And they have, ping pong tables at work. Like, these people do at most, not quoting Office Space here, like 15 minutes of work a day. They just space out, eat free lunches. It's basically adult daycare. That's what these people work in, right? They're not doing hard labor jobs. They're not doing stressful customer servicey jobs or anything. They are literally living the life of a king. And you're going to be, oh, it sucks that these devs have to find a new job. Bro, they can sit on their wealth for, like, the rest of their life if they wanted. Probably if they saved it and they didn't spend it ludicrously. But anyway, I hope Amazon enjoys their Snoop Dogg AI slop, bro. Like, just look, dude, there is something instinctively, like, have you seen the AI Snoop Dogg game that's replacing New World? There is something deep in me that just angers me. It just makes me want to rip and tear. It fires something up in my blood, in my soul that is just inherently wrong. It like brings out the animalistic instincts of ripping and tearing, okay? But anyway, that's the video. Hope you enjoyed. Mwah. Kiss on your forehead. Click the video on the right side of your screen. If you don't, you're never going to get a girlfriend ever again. And if you're a girl watching this, why are you watching me? You're a girl, weirdo.